We all seek power and importance. In the unmanifest realm of Brahman, power represents the outcome of purified intentions. So, purity or absolute concentration of a certain set of intentions creates this all powerful entity that we call God. I always distinguish between God and Lord. God, for the most part, may represent these strong angelic forces that look after us and protect us from forces that do not represent who we are or what we intend to be. So, for the most part, people who believe in karma and yoga and want and do good things in life, they will be protected by the angelic forces against evils that might be trying to approach and destroy your physical integrity. Now, the purity represents concentration, just like 24 karat gold is considered to be the most pure form of gold because the concentration of the gold particles is the highest compared to other competing particles in that lump of matter. Similarly, when you have extremely strong, pure intentions that are monolithic and singular, they are going to create a strong purity and hence power within you. So, from having monolithic, singular intentions, we breed purity or absolute concentration of their intentions, and that is what makes us extremely important or powerful. Now, the way to attain purity is on three levels, and the way to attain anti purity or destruction of the purity to create another set of purity as we know it, but at the opposite end of spectrum, you require the forces of gunas. So let's first understand that purity can be absolutely good or absolutely evil as we declare and define it. We term goodness to anything that is creating samta bhav, balance, equanimity, and helping others as we know it. We define evil as anything that is selfish, self centered, torturing, and damaging others as we know it by the definition of ego to further its own cause. If you are absolutely good, angelic, and saint, you become a god. If you are absolutely evil, damaging, selfish, dubious, you become a demon. Now, whatever we are pursuing the path in this life, that is what we are moving towards. So every split second, we are either pursuing the path of gods or the path of demons. Call it the path of angels and the path of demons. Brahman or Lord is totally above, he's gunatit, he's above the dualities of good and evil. That's why I said he's the Lord or Parmeshwar. And it's mostly semantics at this point, whether you call someone angel or Lord. But for the sake of clarity, I try to keep these entities different so that I know what I am reacting to, responding to, or initiating off in any individual enterprise or project that I undertake. So let's understand purity as concentrated set of characteristics that are not diluted by the presence of any competing characteristics. So kindness, gratitude, compassion, ambition, all of these can be considered as positive polarity purities. And just on the opposite end of these positive polarity purities exist the negative polarity purities. And these can be cruelty, lassitude, lust, anger. So we can, for the sake of clarity, because clarity is again purity, are going to define them as three clusters as mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. The clusters of Yajna, Dan and Tap. Tap occurs at the levels of senses in terms of austerities, cold showers, intermittent fasting, or Dan, philanthropy, happens at the level of the mental mind, and Yajna or sacrifice happens at the level of intellect. These lead to positive polarity purities, where you have development of strong sattvic goodwill, compassion, ambition, things that are going to make the world better as we know it. On the opposite end, Trividham narkasyedam dwaram nash namatmana kama krodhas tatha lobhas tasmad tyajet. So, three doors to hell: the lust, greed and anger. So, these are actually representing the opposite end of spectrum to Yajna, Dan and Tap. So, opposite of Tap or austerity are lusts, because you will see these come automatically to you and you don't seek it. After every 24 hours, depending on your circadian rhythm, you might get an intense pang of lustful wishes. Some people it happens at night time, some people it can happen daytime, but it just automatically comes to you when you're doing or thinking nothing that should have incited it, because it's sitting in the subconscious, in the deep samskaras, the ocean of samskaras, and getting these ripple waves on the conscious of smriti. So, vritti waves as we call it. So basically, the antonym or the opposite polarity to austerity is lust, comes to you, makes you helpless at the level of senses. Then at the mental mind level, there are desires, and the antithesis to desires is greed. So desire manifests as greed, and to kill the greed you do philanthropy or dan. So antithesis of dan is greed. In dan you are giving away, in greed you are accumulating more and more. And the last one, of course, that occurs at the level of intellect is tyaga or sacrifice, giving away what is yours even when you need it the most. Dan is giving away what is yours that is not needed as much beyond your needs. It's in the luxury realm. Whereas the yajna or sacrifice is at the basic necessity level. It's like whether you are providing some help to others at the level of anhata, or whether you are providing help to others at the level of muladhara. Totally different things. Now, the krodha or the anger is what vinash kale viparit buddhi. At the time of destruction, your buddhi is destroyed, and that is what krodha does. Kamesh, krodhesh, rajogun samudbhava, mahashano mahapapma, vedyanam hi varanam. So kam and krodh are what give rise to the papas or the sins. Now sin again represents the cluster of purity of negative polarity, whether you think about it as cruelty, torture, humiliation, anger, greed, destruction, self-centeredness, all these negative polarity purities. I don't like to call them impurities. To me, impurity is something in between the two ends of the spectrum. The one end, positive polarity purities, and the other end, negative polarity purities. Nothing wrong with being in the middle, but the only problem is that when you come in contact with these purities, they are going to impart their characteristics onto you. Since you are impure and weaker, a collection of multiple sets of vasanas, samskaras, desires, the desire that this polarity, purity you are coming in contact with is going to impart its character stronger, so that in the set of desires that you have, this particular contact that you had with a certain polarity is going to become stronger at that time. Just like how diffusion works, how osmosis works, the polarity purity imparts its characters onto you, except that this is all occurring in the unmanifest mental spheres. So that polarity purity that imparts a characteristic onto you is not getting diluted or weakened by the action of imparting your purity. In fact, it gets stronger. Just like dan or love, gyan, just like these things which you spread, they become more stronger. They don't get weaker. By spreading, they are not getting diluted. They are not getting less. They are becoming more and more. So the purity index, in fact, becomes higher. So, two things we talked about: the concentration of the purity, which occurs by the Teflon effect of dispersing any competing characteristics that are trying to invade and challenge the existing intention that we carry. And a multitude of intentions lead us to be in the central, skeptical, speculative component of the spectrum, where we have not decided if we want to be positive polarity purity or negative polarity purity. And lot of those decisions are made by our subconscious contact with a certain set of gunas or influencing associations, namely the sato, rajo, tamo. So it's important that when we want to pursue the so-called path of goodness, we pursue the positive polarity purities of tapo, austerity at senses, dan, philanthropy at the mind, and yajna, sacrifice at the intellect. And these three are going to destroy the negative polarity purity. In most of us, we have a multitude of desires and intentions which need to be made singular and monolithic. So the austerity or the tapo is going to kill the vasanas, or the involuntary autonomic cravings that periodically come and torture us. whether you think about it as hunger, whether you think about it as a sexual lust. These are subconscious cravings that have an periodic component to it. Of course, the periodic component gets temporarily more spaced out. Instead of every 2 minutes, it might become 2 hours, 2 days, 2 weeks once you don't attend to those cravings. Every craving destroyed is every battle won. And when you keep winning battles, you win the war of life. The second one is, of course, at the level of mental plane desire, which is, of course, killed by dan or philanthropy and aggravated by greed, because greed accumulates and dan disseminates. The third one, which is the most powerful, is at the level of intellect, which is sacrifice, giving away what was basic necessity to you at muladhara level of subsistence, which is again killed by anger, or kills the anger, depending on which polarity, purity is stronger, whether your intention to do sacrifice is high or whether your intention to get molested by the anger mode is high. So my friends, we have to become more positive polarity purity, because our nature as the Atman, which is the intention or sankalpa, is to be the enjoyer and the happy state. And that happy state is given to us by sattva of levity. And yagya dan tap, austerity, is washing away your dirt on your purity. And dan is again giving away from the core the dirt of your impurity. And yagya again is giving away the extreme core dirt in your impurity. These are going to grow our mental sphere in a region where we're not going to be affected by the three sins, the lust, greed, and anger, which try to counteract the goodness of austerity, greed, and sacrifice, respectively. All these three are, of course, grown, as we have talked about, by Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Dhyan Yoga. And that is why we have to chant, we have to do community service, and we have to go out of our way to help someone even when we need those commodities a lot, but that individual needs it more than us, so we go and do sacrifice. If we do all these three right, we will not be trapped by the vasanas, by the kama of greed, or the krodha or the anger. Hope you like this audio.